We'll see from Billy Yates, who joins us live in the studio. Billy performed at the prestigious Grand Ole Opry over 20 times. So we've met a lot of people who've been there. I don't think I've met too many performers recently who've actually performed there. What's it like?
You know, it's amazing because, you know, it all started, I was on major record labels, you know, in the past and that kind of thing. And now that I'm doing my own independent thing, I still continue to get to do the Opry every now and then. And, you know, it's just such a sacred stage for me because, I mean, I'll never forget the first time I walked out there and, you know, I stood on that circle because they took the floor from the old Ryman Auditorium, the original Grand Ole Opry, you know, venue, and they put that in the new Opry House. And I told the audience, I said, you all have to give me just a minute. I really have to savor this moment. And it was such a special thing to me because I mean, as I mentioned earlier, had driven around town as a kid trying to tune in the Grand Ole Opry, and you know, it's just a special thing. And so every time I do it, I treat it like it's the last time I'll ever get to do it. And because you never know, but at the same time, it's like, man, that's just such an honor, you know, to get to be someone that they call to do the Opry. When a lot of times it's when somebody doesn't show up, or you know, I'm just kind of on standby, and so it's really nice.
Billy, we saw recently, there's been lots of biopics, Johnny Cash and Loretta Lynn, the coal miner's daughter. In the Loretta Lynn movie, it featured quite prominently in that as she was standing inside stage to come on. Is that still the way it is, where people are just queuing up side stage to come on and do their thing?
I mean, especially, you know, one time a few years ago, you know, they do the Grand Ole Opry at the Ryman Auditorium, which is the mother church of country music, as they call it, and it was the original, you know, home of the Grand Ole Opry. And there's not really a backstage area. You just stand in the wings. And I'll never forget, I was standing there and getting ready to go out, and my little boy, who was just a baby then, was in his car seat, and I'm holding the car seat, and we're watching the Opry, and I saw, it was like, you know, Jim and Jesse and like all these old, you know, Opry icons were coming out, little Jimmy Dickens in the rhinestone suits and everything. And it was just chilling to stand there and see that and to know that I was coming up next to go out and perform. And it's just something that I really respect, and just words can't even explain how I feel about the Opry.
Now, Billy Yates is with us. He's going to be with us up till about 8 o'clock, so it's a special chat with Billy Yates. After that, you're going to hear from Elkie Brooks. So if you are caught in traffic, you found the station for you tonight. Lots of nostalgia, lots of country music, and lots of information from Elkie Brooks in the second part of tonight's show. But first of all, we're back to Billy again. And I did mention that he has written and worked with the one and only George Jones. He's also toured as a support act for Alan Jackson, so lots to talk about the stars he's worked with. But let's get on to George Jones, the legend. Let's start by just talking about the song choices. When we come back after the song and the break, we'll talk a little bit more about him. How did you come to write this song choices? And what did you give it to Jones?
Wrote the song in '94, I believe it was. And every time George does a new record, he always calls and says, hey, I'm working on a new album, and can you bring me some songs? And so I go out to his house and I play him some songs. And the truth is, on this song, and we've laughed about it now, you know, since, but I played him the song the first time, and he listened, and he said, no, Billy, I don't think this song is for me. And so another year and a half or so goes by, I play it for him again, and same thing. He didn't remember hearing it, which was kind of funny. But he said, no, I don't think so. That song's not for me. And then about another year and a half or so goes by, and it's the year 2000, I think it was. And somebody from the record label played him the song, and they told me, they said, George said, well, I wonder why Billy never played me this song. So he never remembered it, you know, but the song, I think, finally sort of hit home, and it became something that was special to him.